First off, I want to thank Asher Knives for sending me 3 of their new models to check out. Thank you, Asher. I really appreciate that. Let's get to the video. Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared. My lovely wife, Kara, is busy, and I'm doing a quick first impressions of the new Asher Knives. I did an unboxing on a live, but I didn't have any of the information or anything like that. So now I can actually give a first impressions properly, not during a live. So we have the Spyro here, which is a liner lock in S35VN. This thing's pretty impressive. We'll get back to that in just a second. Then we have the Nomad 2.0. So this one is on ceramic bearings, and man, is it smooth. Then we have the frame lock Nomad. I'm pretty sure this is the frame lock Nomad, which is also on S35VN and on ceramic bearings. All of these are on ceramic bearings, so they're incredibly smooth. Let's just start with this one. So it is a frame lock, S35VN, very smooth. The thumb studs are well placed. Good action. Great reverse flick. The sharpening choil is a little smaller than I noticed on the Nomad 2.0. As you can see, it is a little more straight back. Now, I haven't sharpened these yet. I haven't used them or anything. Like I said, it's just a first impressions. But deep carry clip, they're all using basically the same clip, and they are reversible, as you can see, which is pretty cool because they give you the little tab. Now, the clip, they are flat screws, but they only sit up a little bit. These clips actually work pretty good, but they're pretty chunky. But for my hand, personally, they don't really bother my hand, actually. They actually sit right in a nestled spot. If I was just looking at them, I would think, well, maybe not this one, but these ones, I would think that they were a little fat and wide, maybe a little uncomfortable, but not so much. They're actually pretty decent. Now, so far, just right off the bat, if I was going to say a critique on this frame lock, they did give you a little cutout here, but then they kind of chamfered this thing back right here for when you're wrapping your hand around, which is very comfortable when you wrap your finger around it, but it kind of makes this a little sharp. It's not bad, though. Like, it's not a huge complaint or anything like that, but, just a little critique, just right off the bat before I've used it or anything like that. Now, the geometry on it seems pretty decent. It's not really thin behind the edge, but it's not a thick blade stock. It has a decent taper. It seems like just a great EDC knife. Now, these things are they're under like 80 bucks, I believe. I think they're right around the $70 to $80 range. So for S35VN, this is a steel frame lock, though. Then this one is the access lock, which also comes with an extra set of Omega springs. So if they happen to break, then you have a replacement, which I haven't heard of anybody saying that theirs broke or anything, but it's always good to have an extra spare laying around for, just a safety. That was my fault. You can do the reverse flick right out the box. It's super smooth from the ceramic bearings. Incredibly smooth. The action is fantastic. I can say right off the bat that I like this one better than my original one with phosphor bronze. Now, I know a lot of people tend to like access locks on phosphor bronze. I like them on bearings. I mean, I just find that the button locks and access locks on bearings are super smooth, super convenient, very fidgety. Now, yeah, you're going to have it able to get more dust in there and stuff like that, but this is just a basic EDC knife. It's not like an outdoors knife or something like that. Now, this would be a proper work knife though too. Nice thin blade stock. You could definitely get some work done. It's not super thin behind the edge, but just the way it feels without cutting anything with this particular one, I mean, it seems like it would cut really good. You see the Asher Knives logo. These are made in China. And then the clip, I've used this clip before on my other one, and it worked just fine in the hand. Feels pretty decent. I do feel the clip a little bit, but you're gonna if you have a clip. But super fidgety, very nice. Let's see if it's centered. It's pretty close, if not. Then we have the white G10 backspacer, steel liners. Like I said, S35VN. Okay, then this one has been the most impressive to me personally. And if you look at it, look at these thumb studs compared. Let's compare these thumb studs to these ones really quick. Look at the size difference. And you can feel it when you get it in hand. The G10 is very nice. I do like the way this G10 is done. It is a compact knife, but these thumb studs are just super fidgety. This thing is incredibly smooth. You can easily get a reverse flick. I mean, this is so easy to reverse flick. Let me just pull these off to the side so my camera stops trying to focus on them. And the lock bar is very easy to access. It is a liner lock. I've already checked it for play and anything like that. No play. Very smooth. It actually has a nice sound to it too. And then when you go to use the thumb stud, you can get up right behind them, or since they're so big and grippy, you can go right on top of them too, which is kind of cool. So in the reverse flick, you can go up underneath them or on top of them as well, and it works so good. It is very fidgety. Now, the detent isn't very strong on this one, but I find that to be better than if it was strong. Just the way it is, you can easily slow roll it, and you can hear the detent click. Nice clicky detent. But like I said, it's not a very strong detent, but I mean that in a good way. Because if it was overly strong, it wouldn't be as fidgety as it is, and it is very satisfying. Now, let's talk about this plunge grind really quick, because, you know, some people might think that this, you know, like, what's up with that? You know, where is the sharpening choil? Right? Like, this one has a beautiful sharpening choil. I love the way they did this. It's past the plunge grind, and it gives you some meat on the bones to sharpen. Now, this is a little bit more like a spider coat, but I'm actually happy with the way they did this, and I'm going to explain why. Because the plunge grind is a straight drop. So, if it was a tapering plunge grind, let me see if I can get another knife to explain. Okay, so like this one, you see how it has the plunge grind and goes down. So the plunge grind kind of swoops down right here and goes, you know, just kind of taper it down. So now this one just drops straight down, a lot like, say, a spider claw. How it's just flat right here. Here's another example. How it's just flat right here. So you can sharpen all the way to that wall because it doesn't get thicker before the wall. Hopefully that made sense to you. So when you sharpen this, you can sharpen it all the way back to this line, and it's not going to get into a thicker part of steel starting right here. Because if it did a taper from right here to here, it would just get thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker till it gets to the thickest point of the blade stock. This way it just drops straight down to the point, or to the grind, and now you can sharpen all the way back to that point. I find that great. I think that's awesome that they did that like that. You can get, you have really good ergos with this one too. Looking at it, I wouldn't think so with this thick pocket clip, but for my hands, and now this is my hands, they nestle right around there, and the clip just sits right in a good spot in my hand, and it's pretty comfortable. Now, I feel the clip, but as of right now, without using it, just grabbing it, it feels very comfortable. So I do really like this. And then also, if you look at how it kind of nestles up right there, and then you have this thicker part, the way your fingers just wrap around right there, it's kind of hard to explain without putting it in your hand, but my fingers tend to like that. It's nice and comfortable. It feels very comfortable, and I find that I can spin it to get into other grips very fast, very effectively, very easily. And it's just so fast, in and out of the pocket, right open, do your cut. You know, you can just bang right back in the pocket. This is a very fast knife. Very easy to use and easy to slow roll. Like I said, I haven't sharpened it yet, so I can't speak on how it cuts or how it sharpens, but I will for the review. Sorry, I had another knife poking through. I was going to show the plunge grind because it's a lot like a spider claw. That was the point of that. But the thumb studs, very impressive. They are very large. They work very good for all the flicking. Let's look at the stop pin now. Good size stop pin. I like to see that. The bearings are very, very smooth. And The boxes that they come in are nice boxes. Like I said, the one with the axis lock comes with the Omega springs, which is awesome. So all in all, this one's the most impressive to me as of right now. I do like this axis lock. So as of right now, without using them, without anything, this is the most impressive. This is second, and then this one's third. Now that could all change tomorrow, because after using sharpening and yada yada. So I do wish that they would have added a sharpening choil on this one, because this is a good example of what I was talking about, what I was happy with that they did do on that one. So this one doesn't have just a straight drop off. It has a tapering plunge grind. So the plunge grind ends right here where the sharpening begins. So when you sharpen back, meaning back this way towards the plunge grind, you're gonna run into the plunge grind. With this, you're gonna run right into the drop off of the plunge grind, so it's not going to show any effect, a lot like the way a Spyderco does. So there you guys go. That is my first impressions of the new Asher knives, and I will have a lot more information for you in the review, so keep in touch. Love you guys. Peace.